Okay, so the second topic I would like to share with you is how to promote e-commerce in the rural area, and this will be a case study about China's experience. Okay, so we know e-commerce usually start from the urban area due to several reasons. First, urban area have better transportation. We know the e-commerce in terms of transaction is online, but the delivery still need the transportation. So in the urban area, on one hand, it has larger concentration of population, so it have such kind of economy of scale. And also with better infrastructure, it's easy to access the customers. However, the rural area usually lag behind of such e-commerce development due to several obstacles. First is financial service. We know the transaction is online, but payment is very important. However, in the rural area, a lot of people cannot access to the financial service. And second obstacle is infrastructure. Okay, the infrastructure needed for e-commerce, including access to internet. Second is ICT facility, and third is logistic and the delivery service. And also the third obstacle is knowledge and skill. We know doing business actually also needs some knowledge. For example, the computer literacy and also the trust in the platform transaction. However, in the rural area, usually people are less educated. A lot of people don't have such kind of knowledge and skills to access the e-commerce. Okay, so in terms of e-commerce in rural China, so in China actually the regional gap between rural and urban is huge. So currently the rural population accounts for 46% of the total population, and agriculture accounts for about 8.6% of the GDP. So if we look at the population, the market is still huge. But however, due to a lot of obstacles, the e-commerce development in the rural area is actually lagging behind of the urban. But recently, this kind of gap is shrinking due to the effort of Alibaba and also the government support. For example, after IPO in 2014, Alibaba announced the three major strategies, including e-commerce in rural area, globalization, and the big data. So in terms of first strategy, promoting e-commerce in rural area, actually Alibaba announced to invest 10 billion RMB to establish 1,000 country-level service center and 100,000 service center in the rural area. So as a side information, maybe you are familiar with Alibaba. It's a kind of unicorn company. So it's focused on e-commerce, but now it also have financial service, which called Ant Financial. So the e-commerce in China, Alibaba is the major player. So in addition to the private sector, the government also promote e-commerce. For example, in January 2014, the Chinese government announced the expansion of e-commerce to the countryside as a national policy priority to foster rural economic development and to reduce the urban-rural economic divide. So first, let's see how China overcome the obstacle of promoting e-commerce in the rural area. So first is financial service. Actually, we know for a commercial bank, setting up a physical branch is very expensive. So it needs some population. Okay, I mean, usually access to financial service is not a problem in the city area because we have high concentration of population. But however, in the rural area, usually population density is very low, so it's not profitable to set banking branch in the rural area. So in China, actually, a lot of people cannot access to the financial service easily in the rural area. So this would be an important obstacle of promoting e-commerce. And at the same time, we know in promoting e-commerce in like advanced economy, usually the transaction is through credit card, right? Like Amazon, when you order something, usually you pay through the credit card. But in China and also in a lot of developing countries, a lot of people don't have such a kind of credit card. So how to solve this kind of financial obstacle? Alibaba actually developed the Alipay which is a kind of mobile payment service. Okay, it was established in 2004. Okay, so the payment, if you have a kind of Alipay, then you can order the goods and then the payment is just due on the mobile phone. And now Alipay can also promote e-commerce because with Alipay, a lot of people can actually order the goods beforehand and then just go to the shop to collect the goods. Okay, so by the end of 2017, about 47% of China rural internet users have already adopted the mobile payment. Very often they use Alipay. So it's increased from 31.7% a year earlier. So this is about the payment. Alipay solved the issue of payment. But at the same time, Alibaba also tried to promote credit to its merchant. We know usually the merchant online are usually small and micro business, and very often they may lack of financial resources to expand their business. So to solve this problem, Alibaba actually established a kind of financial company which is called Ant Financial. So it's mainly targeted for its online merchant. For example, if you are running, selling maybe like clothes online through the Taobao platform, so this means Alibaba actually knows your transaction. If say your sales perform very well, then later on you will receive an email from Alibaba. It will say that in the last several months we see that your sales is growing very fast. Now like Chinese New Year is coming, maybe you want to promote your sales. So we can offer you like $1,000 of loan. Would you like to borrow this money? Then usually they will send you a link. So you just click the link and then you can get this kind of loan. So currently Alibaba uses a lot of AI and machine learning to handle such kind of lending. So it's very proud of its 310 lending model. It means 3 minutes of online application and then obtain approval in just 1 second and no human touch because it uses the AI and also machine learning. So with this way, the Alibaba also provide the financial credit to the e-commerce merchant. Okay. And the second very important obstacle of promoting e-commerce in the rural area is infrastructure. The first kind of infrastructure is internet, and also very often the rural area rural resident cannot easily access to the internet. But we know internet is actually very often like a public goods, so the private firms cannot actually do a lot in terms of widening the internet coverage. So in terms of China, in 2014, the Ministry of Agriculture launched the program of enhancing ICT access to the rural transformation. Basically, the Chinese government used access to internet as a part of poverty reduction program. Because recently, eliminating poverty is one of the major objectives of Chinese government. It expects to eliminate poverty by 2020. So access to internet is one of this strategy. So by the end of 2018, 130 administrative villages, including 43,000 in poverty, are connected with optical fiber network with a speed of 65 m. And by 2020, 98% of total 122,900 listed poor villages across the country will be covered by the broadband. And integrating 4G network into the rural telecommunication service project from 2018. So basically, with this program, the internet access has been extended to almost all of the rural area. And the second is actually logistics and delivery. As I said before, in terms of logistic and delivery, it also need economy of scale. Okay, in the urban area, this is not a problem. Say people live in the same region, so when the phone do the delivery, actually it can deliver the goods to a lot of households. So the cost is low, and they can earn the profit margin. But however, in the rural area, we know population density is very low. Okay, so usually the commercial company is reluctant to deliver the goods to the rural area because it's not profitable. And at the same time, transportation to the villages is usually very poor. Okay, so this is called the last mile challenge. So in China, there are some county center. County center is usually easy to access. I mean, it can be connected with like expressway or even like railway or high-speed railway. But however, from the county center to the rural area, to the village, it's called the last mile challenge. Usually, the commercial companies is reluctant to deliver the goods. Okay. So to solve this problem, Chinese government partnered with Alibaba to invest in the local distribution network to offer e-commerce in rural village at the same price, convenience, and service quality that buyers and producers face in their county's main city center. So basically, first they built the warehouse as logistic node for the rural parcel delivery near the urban center. Okay, and second, they actually subsidize the transport between warehouse and the village. Okay, because delivery to the village is not profitable. So to solve this issue, they subsidize the delivery company. Actually, quite a lot of the subsidy comes from the Alibaba, because Alibaba feel that with such a kind of subsidy, it will encourage the rural residents to buy goods online. And once people used to buy goods online, later on, the sales will increase, and finally it will be able to cover such a kind of cost. Okay, and also it develops some kind of delivery network. For example, Cainiao network is a kind of distribution network for big household appliance, for example, like furniture. And the other is called Mantianxin. It traces the source of high-quality agricultural products to promote the sales of agricultural goods to the urban area or to the national market. Okay. And the third kind of obstacle is knowledge and skills needed for the e-commerce. Okay, we know in China, rural residents are usually less educated, and a lot of people may not have skills to use the computer. So to solve this problem, Alibaba actually established the service center in a lot of villages. Okay, actually Alibaba worked together with some rural, villagers. Usually we know in a village there could be some convenience store. So basically Alibaba worked together with this convenience store and then put their computers and monitors there. Okay. Actually the selection of terminal manager is very interesting. So the firm actually solicit applications for potential local store operators and schedule a kind of examination for the applicants. Usually the examination is about their computer skills. So once terminal managers are selected, they will assist local households to buying and selling the products. Okay. Actually, the competition for such kind of terminal manager could be very tough in some village, because they can receive a reward about 3 to 5% for each transaction completed. So with such kind of business model, the culture and habit of shopping and selling online among the rural population is nurtured. Let me show you some example. So this is a kind of Taobao service center. Okay, and this is a terminal manager, this lady. Okay, so this man, he is actually a blind man. So he went to this service center and he want to buy a clothes. So this terminal manager measure his size, okay, and then help him order online. So this is called rural Taobao. Okay, once it is ordered, the goods will also be delivered to this service center, and then these people can collect the goods from such service center. Okay. So with this kind of business model, it helped the rural residents to order the goods online. Actually, this is also important for the rural consumer, because we know usually in the rural area, the consumption choice is very limited. Okay, I mean, compared with the big city, right? Usually they only have several stores and can access to very limited range of the goods. But now with e-commerce, actually they can have much wider choice. They can compare the goods of different quality, different prices, and then can make much better choice. It is found that with such kind of e-commerce, it helps to reduce the living cost.